Hello. Good morning, everybody. What's up? We got new people in here. Good morning, Jeff. Let me give some hellos to everybody. Getting started on what's today, Wednesday? SJ was first in here. What's up, Big Doug? Norm. What up, Norm? Ricky, Tyler, Neo Del Rio, PP Sprinkles, Keita, BDM. Where you at today, buddy? DeBerry Joe, EJ is in here. Ricky, I think I hit you twice. Jeff Byron, he's new. Or I don't see you very often. Good to see you, Jeff. Oh, you want a blast? I can give everybody a blast. Here you go. There you go. Blast for everybody. Kupo is stuck at a deposition and he forgot his headphones. Very sorry about that. Kendall Hill, I hit TJ, Just Jen. What up, everybody? Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. It's a busy day today. We have a lot going on today. Tons in the hopper today. First thing, Jeff Howell.
You can get a cheap pair of Bluetooth AirPods or earbuds for like...
I don't like calling them. I call them headphones.
$20, right?
Yeah.
Just a cheapo pair?
Probably less than that.
I need to buy like multiple pairs and keep like some in my truck because I often find myself...
What are you running? You running a USB-C? You running a Lightning?
What do you mean? I have Apple AirPods.
No, but I mean like you wanted corded, right? Cheap.
No. Bluetooth.
Oh, Bluetooth.
But I think they make cheap Bluetooth.
I think
like
you should
$20.
go corded. Buy yourself 1,005 pairs of corded. You can get it for like $9.
I don't like running with them or working out with cords because the machines get caught up in the cords as a pain in the ass. I need
too many. You're like then you're hung like a parachutist. You're like
well, it just gets
get me out of here.
My shorts also yank the cords out of my ears.
Yeah, because you wear these little briefs.
I just need to buy a bunch and then put them around because so many. Yesterday I worked out in silence and it horrible. It's horrible.
Were there other people there?
Yeah.
You should chirp to them.
No.
Like, hello, I'm working on this. Hello. Want to talk while we work out? That's what you say.
Everybody there has, except for one old man that talks loud on his phone.
Yeah, that's an epidemic now. Yeah. And I think some people thought that we meant that it was of only Latin people that speak on their speakerphone. It is not. Latin people, the stereotype we made there was the in-the-ear Bluetooth. The speakerphone talking in your phone, that's everybody. That's every nationality. Every color and creed. Race, color, creed. Let's talk about this because everybody's hitting me right now. Well, by everybody, I mean Keita, BDM, and other people are asking about the pinball party on Friday. This would be a good time to tell, because you guys are watching us live on Twitch and YouTube, what we're doing with the pinball party.
Just show up at Park at Publix and then walk across the street. It's starting at 5, ends at 7. We're going to Twitch the whole thing. So if those of you who can't show up, we're just going to turn on the cameras and the mics from 5 to 7.
Let it ride.
We're not really doing a show, but we may pop in and like interview some guests that are here. But mainly it's going to be us talking to people and you just watching.
Playing pinball.
Yeah, just watching, I guess,
I'll probably
feed.
I'll probably change that camera. Oh, our guest is here. Jeff Howell is here. I'll probably change that camera out there, and then we're going to run another one from out here, probably going back into here. What's going on, guys? Good to see you.
How you doing, man?
We are live on Twitch and YouTube.
Oh, you go. Oh, good.
We're just warming up.
Saying that, man. Love that.
Good to see you. How are you?
Grab a seat.
Good to see you.
You as well.
Thanks for being here, y'all. Make yourselves at home. Yeah, make yourself at home. Go in there and blow it up. You are allowed.
He's got Howell intestines.
Yeah, well, he's family. Family's allowed to poop here. You guys are like two of... And I'm saying you can do whatever you want here. I've known Jeff for so long. You could go in there and start just vomiting. It's fine. Because you guys are family. I wouldn't let. We used to have Big Tim. I'm gonna call him out since he's not here in California. He used to just use the family card to stop by here and poop in our bathroom.
Oh, really?
And you know what? We were very close to Big Tim, but not that close. Not close enough to be pooping up our bathroom. Jeff can though.
Jeff Candler.
Jeff Can, though.
Oh,
It's
Jeff
like-
Can. Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
You and Jeff Candler. Oh,
Yeah,
Jeff Candler.
Only you and
Funny
Jeff
guy.
Candler. Only you and Jeff Candler.
These are new hearing aids, too.
Oh, nice. I like you got the black ones.
Yeah, I do. Well, I'll tell you why.
I bet there's a joke. I bet there's a joke why you have black hearing aids.
I know why. Let me guess. I'm going to guess why.
Do you know why?
Yo.
Okay, Christine says people that don't watch on Twitch should be banned from the pinball party. You knew that was going to happen, where it was going to be very aggressive. Everything that any human goes to do now, there are lines drawn in the sand, and there's different sides that hate each other for everything.
Well, yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's hard. What am I supposed to do? You think I'm going to stand outside and be like, hey,
Yeah.
who are you?
Hey,
you watch on
You know,
Twitch?
you got to ask them. You hold a gun. You're
and,
like, hey,
and they're like, I've seen it before.
What
and I'm
kind
like,
of Tom and Dan listener are you? Are you do you watch online? Are you one of those? Yeah.
I mean,
What kind of American are you, motherfucker?
If you want, I'll shame them when they get here.
Yeah,
in
I have a
front of you
special
guys.
treat for you guys, Christine. You'll see. I have something I'm purchasing.
If
Special just for those that I know that will be hand delivered by me. And no one, if I don't hand it to you, you don't get it.
all right,
I'm serious. It's like a prize I'm giving them.
we
All right, good to see you.
we get a hard out at 11:25.
Yeah.
We got old Yakov Smirnov.
Yeah,
calling
we have
in.
the Russian version of you calling it.
No.
We're gonna go from American to Russian in a flip of a switch.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Yakov Smirnov.
Hey, I do have to tell you this.
So we're getting
Sweet.
bumped.
And
No, you're not at all.
No,
You're not at all.
we're just saying,
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm not, and listen, I'm not, believe me, I'm not dogging anybody out on this and everything, but you know how I always come in and I go, God, I didn't do well last time, you know, or I was goofy. I was telling these jokes. I was trying to force jokes in, because that's what happens is on the way here, I just think of jokes and I go, oh, I'm going to force that.
I love that.
I like that.
Screw their show. I'm going to force that.
I have no problem with that
Oh,
whatsoever.
good.
I love
good.
that.
Well, I always feel bad, and then I heard one time, and look, the guy's a major comic and everything. Bob Zaney.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He called him, but he was doing some jokes that I went, oh, I don't feel so bad.
No. That's why we haven't been. Yeah, that's why we haven't been. Yeah.
Our listeners love it for whatever. They text me. They're like, "Why do you
Can
hate
believe
it so
that?
much?" I
Can
love
you
it. I'm
believe-
like,
and
"You're lying.
They yell at Tom. They'll be like, "You motherfucker."
You're lying. It's horrible."
They're like,
I know
they're
it's
like,
horrible.
one of these days you'll be as funny as Bob Zaney, Tom. You piece of shit.
It's awkward. It's awkward. Horrible.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
do you like it? They're like, I like it. They're lying. They're bullying you.
Yeah, they are bullying him.
Oh, yeah,
The
and
show has just become them bullying you.
I
And
know. So I don't feel so
Yeah.
bad. So I wrote a bunch of jokes.
Yeah.
on the way here.
Okay, all right,
Okay,
all right.
and we can't curse. Sorry, I'm cursing. I'm getting it all out.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Mr.
Get it out the
Van,
system.
would
And
you
I'm
like
not dogging the guy out.
You're
know,
not at
'cause
all. No, you're
yeah.
fine. You're fine. You could say he sucks, and he'd be like, "I know." You know, it's fine. Like he's a funny man.
I've heard it.
All right. Would you like to begin?
Yeah, let's do it.
3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. 2 of my favorites are here, sir, and I will allow you to have the honors.
Jeff and Casey Howell are here. How you guys doing?
Hey!
Casey.
Yeah.
Casey Howell's going to be performing at Celebration at the Wilson Orlando on Friday and at Cherry Pocket Steak and Seafood in Lake Wales on Saturday. So you can check Casey Howell out at both those
That's
locations.
not Cherry
this
Pocket
weekend.
Steak and Seafood sounds
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Extra seafood.
Yeah, I love it.
Cherry Pocket Fish.
Hey. Hold on, let's start over. There we go. That'll make it better.
Can
That'll
you
make
say
it
Cherry
better.
Pocket on the radio?
Yeah, absolutely we can. You know what? You know what we need to cleanse the palate, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. It's our new president singing "God is a River." Here's our new president singing "God is a River." Here he goes. Just let him sing a little bit of it. This is the Jeff Howell song.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump. Oh, Tom the Bomb first. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom the Bomb. And here's Trump.
God was a river
What the hell is this?
and it knelt down in the sea.
Is that you? Is it AI?
There a cruel war never
Oh my God.
What do you think? What do you think?
It's better.
shore.
Yeah, I didn't realize how good a song it was. Till I heard this
Wait till he hits it. Wait till he hits it right here. Wait till he hits it.
To wash away my sorrow.
Are you sure that's not you?
Away my
That
No,
sounds
I
like
swear to
what
God. I swear to God, that's AI.
We don't do any work anymore.
All we do is sit in front of our computers and laugh. Yeah, that is AI.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's that took me all of 18 seconds, and but it did cost me $60.
The subscription,
yeah. Because everything you got to do, everything is in microtransactions of bits.
Yeah.
And micro bits.
Oh,
and
sure.
That cost me 22,400 microbits, which is $60.
You are just for the one song.
Yeah, just for the one song.
Oh, that's
But I don't own it.
But I don't
own it. I just have to rent it.
Wow,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you
But
can't.
then they now own your song. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
about
sure.
That. Yeah,
Right.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Not like I made any money. Because my songs had been playing on the the 104.1 for years and years and years. I've seen not one penny from that. And and I am a BMI affiliate, but that's you know what that
Huge
that is?
BMI.
I don't like you.
What if you sued him, Jeff? That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty awesome.
If you just take your life savings and just sued for I don't even know how much it would be.
Yeah.
Just,
Two life savings.
a couple dollars.
Well, the thing is, they do have a guy there's a guy named Brian Bassett that is that's a legend in the blues studios around here, and he's a great performer. Right? Well, he's the guitar player on Play That Funky Music, White Boy. He was in the band Wild Cherry. And before they went with the name Cherry Pocket Seafood.
Open a bar.
They opened a
Seafood
bar.
steak.
They were Wild Cherry. And anyway, he wrote the lick. So anyway, he received his band cut of the royalties, which, but way back then was just minimal.
Yeah.
But he had written that lick, and he did copyright the lick. So finally he got a lawyer, entertainment lawyer, said, look, I don't think I've been paid. So that guy went and backtracked. He found all the money. And I mean, we're talking over the years, he's made millions from this lawyer going back and finding out how much he was owed.
Really?
Yeah. So if I do that with Clear Channel, I'm in the tens of dollars.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is there's been multiple royalty lawsuits that have popped up, and it seems like it's because of the digital age. It's easier to go back and actually have a record of certain because everything is now keeping track of.
One day, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I was just saying, back in the day when companies would pay royalties, you're talking analog TV, and then it's for sure they were screwing the artists. They were looking at every single. These
we
thousands
knew that from our own commercials that we would do, and then we'd have to go down the hallway.
Yeah.
And then turn in a physical record of just no different than a bowling scorecard or a golf scorecard.
Yeah. How many times?
Here's 10 hash marks. It wasn't even real. Absolutely, they were taking advantage.
They have two companies. BMI is the one that most musicians go with because it's free.
Yeah.
Okay, that appealed to me. The ASCAP is the one you pay. You pay yearly to be on. And apparently back in the day, the difference was BMI relied on the program directors or the DJs to write down which songs they played.
Yeah.
They send it to a database where they go, okay, they played the song. ASCAP actually hired people to go listen to each radio station, and they would write down the songs. So that's why it cost to be with ASCAP.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So they actually hired people that would follow up. But if you go with BMI, they go, that's Jeff Howell.
Yeah.
So you paid people to listen to your songs so that they would pay you?
That's a real good point.
Yeah. This is the music business, right? Yeah, that's entertainment, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. You go back 30 years, how the process used to work. If things are still written down on paper.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's crazy to think that. Even the way that we all do, I was looking at some of these amazing photos that you've been going through.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool.
Thank you.
I got lost on your page trying to find, Tom and I were talking about something, and then I went to your page to research.
Yeah.
And then I just started getting lost in your Facebook, and I urge anybody, if you're a fan or friend of Jeff Howell, and you love his music, and you care about him and Casey, go to his Facebook page and just roll through.
They're fun.
I got lost in it, man. There's too much to even look at.
So
and some of the
come
people,
from?
I forget their names, and I'm like, I met that person, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Colleen?
Colleen, yeah.
I met her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a huge, larger-than-life character,
So
but it gets all
sweet.
jumbled up. But what the reason I'm doing it, Tom, is because I'm at that point right now where I'm. For a while, I was thinking of moving to Ireland. Okay,
Okay.
I think I told you that.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I put that on the back burner because it's just going to take more thinking and more work than I'm willing to do for the rest of my life.
Oh.
But the second thing is,
So you gave up on your dream.
oh yeah.
I like that. I like
Sixth
that.
or seventh
Hey,
one
you
so
know what?
far. Yeah.
You came
I really
to the
don't
right
like
guy.
him. I really don't like-
Every other week we have a topic about. Look, we did a topic last week that was like, "What's the best dream you've given up?" Tom and Dan. Like you came to the right guy.
Oh, I know.
We're the dream giver of it.
Oh, I know. So, but the other dream is to move up where my brother and sister live.
Nice,
For the
yeah.
final years of our lives and everything.
Okay, all
Not that
right.
I'm a pessimist. But
Planning on anything? Yeah.
Well, where is that?
yeah, it's in northwest Arkansas.
Okay, just as good as Ireland.
Yeah.
Some call it. I think they call it Razorback Ireland. Right? I know that's what it's done.
I
People talk the same.
I know. I have a harder time understanding North Arkansas people than I do Irish people.
Yeah.
But anyway, in doing so, I have to clean up my house. I have to fix it up. I have to get it ready. So I've done the exterior. I've done that work. Why
did you masturbate after that? It's so weird. Such a weird thing to do. Like, I did all the
It was a
exterior
huge
work.
relief.
I said I did say I had to clean up my house. So.
Right.
So anyway, but the other thing is you got to clean out the closet. I saved every picture that I've ever had since 1977.
Oh my
when I
God.
joined Clutch, yeah. I mean, I have
What
like
a
20,000
psychopath.
pictures.
Are
So
they
Only
in
taking
like
3
Rubbermaid?
It's 4 photos.
Are they in giant Rubbermaid bins or something? Like,
yeah. No, any box or anything, they're in bags, they're in boxes, and
In
you
the
go.
refrigerator, the freezer.
Yeah, and so you go through them, and of course, half of them back in the day, was your thumb in front of it, or you accidentally hit the camera stuff. So, but then you scan it, and then you scan the ones that you want to remember. And so I did that, and I went through pretty much all the pictures. So I scanned the ones, and I'm just running into stuff that I go, oh my God, like when he was just, a baby. And still crapping at his diapers, and
I
picked
saw
it
that
up.
picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
But the thing is, I did all the photos, and so now I'm on the videotape, and I thought I'd bring you guys a videotape that I found.
What?
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I am excited.
We have a
You ready?
VCR player.
I
Girls
can
Gone Wild.
I can find one.
You ready?
Yeah.
Russ, Bo, and Dirty Jim exposed.
Yeah! Hell yeah!
The people have been asking for it.
Yeah. Oh,
Take it.
Man,
And,
look at that.
and it is nothing but saggy boobs and hairy
Oh
van.
my God! Yeah, I love this. I love this. This is fantastic.
why would you bring that, Jeff?
The 90s.
Most, it's like,
Why would
yeah.
you bring
I'm trying to bring us all
It's like
together.
this,
You know what
you're
I mean?
like, most of the titties used in this are dead titties.
Come on.
Sorry, it had to be said.
That's yours.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
I've already put on my
Put that up here.
computer.
Yeah, he's already used it.
That's why I went.
You're like,
What is funny about that is that if you did watch that, you're like, they put this on the radio.
Oh, it was horrible.
You can't even put this on the internet now.
Yeah.
In Florida,
It was
you have to be 21 and up.
it was amazing because they would just walk in the door naked. It wasn't even like a build-up or anything. Yeah. And it got it got to where nudity was boring.
yeah.
The women-
Yeah, it did.
So
But
then
we
they
had
would-
this effect at the Playboy. We went to Playboy Radio.
Yeah.
And there were so many naked women that after about 15 minutes, we were just like, all right.
My
15 minutes?
Yeah.
That's what it took?
Because they're so good looking that,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like, you get shamed because you're in such a professional.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just start acting like an animal that you want to. So you're forced into just not caring about it, which I think turns you, like, gay for the afternoon or something. Like,
Completely
I don't-
shut
yeah,
down,
It's like
yeah.
you get shut down, and then you're just, I'm not restarting this up again.
Hello,
Yeah.
businesswoman.
Yeah, I'm all business now.
You know what's horrible timing on my part is I became an intern,
Yeah,
right?
then-
And spent my
yeah, you were
first
already
like
married when we met you.
no.
This guy's locked in.
It's just 2 months into my internship. Janet Jackson happens, and then Clear
Good.
Channel's like, no more nudity,
Yeah.
only racism now.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, it's my least fun topic. Still do it though. But I wanted
still
nudity.
pays off, yeah.
I wanted nudity though because I was in radio, and
Yeah.
that's when Howard Stern.
And then you
for-
met me, and you know what I said? I said, "Hey, kid, let me teach you something. It's called sexy racism." Okay, I didn't say that.
There was one where they were trying to get these girls to qualify for Miss Monster.
Oh, well,
or
of
something.
course
Yeah.
they needed to qualify and meet the standards.
So they came
They
in.
had to meet the standards of us in the morning show. Do you qualify, madam?
Oh, my God. And they had this one girl in there, and her thing was she was going to do a string of
I remember this, yeah. We gotta be careful.
beads,
Beads.
and so the going in part was fine.
Yeah,
The
stop.
coming out part, and when she finally got to the end of it, she pulled it out and it popped, and a drop went.
Oh,
yeah.
And I was sitting right next to her,
Yeah.
and I swear to God, I went.
Should we play the other thing now? Should we go to something else? Okay, here, we're doing
your
Remember
son
When?
is here, Jeff.
You're unclean, man. No amount of showers are ever going to clean you off.
Here, check this out.
We
check this
dated
out.
for 2 weeks. After.
You sent this, and I edited it so we could play it on air. But check this out, Tom. This is a blast in the past. Is this a young? Who is this? This young hip hopper here?
Start the entire show. We're gonna do a song together. Give it up for Daniels right there.
Look at
What
that.
year is this?
2000.
Yes.
25 years ago.
This is 25 years ago.
Oh, that's what I said. Look at
Yeah,
this.
here's a young Dan.
Look at this. Look at that baby.
I'm getting ready to spit mad fire on your ass, Tom.
1, 2, 3, and to the floor. Nobody rocks our party like that. Jump. Ready to make our next trip, so back on up. Cause you know I'm about to break it up. Giving them like a reverse, so like a bust, like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know that we show. Ain't nothing but a dirt like baby. Too long done.
Uh-oh, said the N-word, Dan. Dan, why'd you say the N-word?
Ah,
Why'd
man.
you do that? You were feeling yourself. I was feeling myself.
When you're in the song,
This is 25 years ago at a time when if I had not said the N-word, people would be like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, oh, I know.
Yeah, say it.
I thought in a period of time back in that day, you know, we're talking 97, 96, I thought that if we just kept saying it over and over again, we would kill the sensitivity to it. Apparently, that didn't work.
Yeah, you tried your hardest.
Yeah,
Is this at Hard Rock Live?
This is at House
Yeah.
of Blues.
Oh, House of Blues?
that's Average Joe you play with.
Look at my dance moves. Look at those dance moves.
Do you have a tucked-in shirt with a braided belt?
I have
Yeah,
a
he does.
Okay, let me describe my outfit.
It's a real radio
I have on the finest of Jinkos. Look at those moves. Look at those moves. You're going to have to see this. You go to YouTube, / Tom and Dan Live, Tom and Dan Live on Twitch.
Do you have the chain with the
I
Jankos?
think I have a chain.
Yeah.
I think those are Z Cavaricci's. That's the second time this week. Your wife came in yesterday and told us that she had a pair of Z Cavaricci's.
Yeah.
I am currently wearing Z Cavaricci's. I have a braided belt on. I have a chain wallet.
Yeah.
And a tucked-in. Look at that. Look at those moves. I have a tucked-in Real Radio polo with the top button like I'm in Long Beach, California.
Yeah.
What is that look?
Only complimented by the Real Radio lanyard for backstage pass.
The chat room is noticing that I dance really well.
Yeah.
And I probably danced my hips broken.
Very erotic stuff you're doing there.
Yeah.
That's
That's
a
pretty good, right?
blonde, like a blonde bowl cut.
I know. Hold on a second here. He's loving this because the only person that's ever been able to make fun of hair on this show is me. So I deserve all of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was more of a sir. Allow me to correct you, sir. That was I was going for a young Rob Thomas, a mop top.
All right.
Shaggy mop top is what I was going for.
So you scanned in all the pictures you found,
Yeah, and
digitally
videos.
and videos.
Yeah.
And then when you scan them in, do you have a hard time throwing away the actual original?
No, in fact, like I said, that's yours
them.
now. I'm done with it.
Okay.
Oh, so
That's
you're
it.
like a digital hoarder.
Oh,
You're like
yeah.
advanced.
Yeah.
You know, if
That's
you
all.
can-
Here's the deal, because I will tell you this: there is so much stuff that you forget about that just looking at it puts euphoria in you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nostalgia. Now, I'm not big for living in the past, but if you can get that feeling from something, God, that was really fun. I forgot about that. I remember that person. They were one, that kind of, yeah.
And but also
You got me. Can I give you? I want to give you your compliment. When you
What?
sent that to me, I was sitting here
Yeah.
at the studio, and you sent it to me, and in the file, it only would open with VLC. I had to do some conversion. to
Yeah,
get it
sure.
on there.
Yeah.
So because it's old media, right? Like
Yeah,
it's crazy, and that even made it cooler.
Oh, thank
The
you.
fact that it was old media and I had to do a little work
Oh,
to get
yeah,
it to work. And then
absolutely,
once I
yeah.
got it running, I sat here and you were on the camping trip and I was just sitting here watching it. It's when I came in on Saturday. I was sitting there watching and I got a big smile on my face. I remember Joe and I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
playing. And that was the first time I'd ever really gotten a compliment from somebody. Like
Oh,
Joe was like, Joe was like, oh, Dan's killing it. He's
No,
doing such a
he
great
said
job.
this is the star of the show,
Yeah,
and he was.
It was a very nice thing.
And
it
you
was,
had just started.
I had just started. It was one of the first times that somebody had ever been like, it was the first time that somebody actively said to a crowd of people, hey, this guy's doing a good job here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got me. Like, I sat here and I was just like, what you just
That
talked about, that feeling. Yeah, I'm getting it right now.
It's
I
wonderful.
appreciate that.
Oh,
Thank
my
you.
pleasure.
I love you, man. I appreciate
love you
doing
too,
that.
man.
That's very cool.
God, it just.
Hey.
Had to be said.
Identification.
My
It was
dad.
your case. It was your case.
I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah.
Sorry. But so now are you going through with it? Are you moving or?
Well, yeah, but it's going to
This
take
is
a
the
little bit
long
of time.
time.
Here's the plan now. And my plan is, it's kind of like the Constitution. It just kind of morphs with whichever way the country's going right now. So, but what I want to do is I want to get my.
what does that mean? Sorry.
What kind of America are you? Hold on a second. We need ice in here,
Commie alert.
Stan. We need ice in here, Stan. I don't know if you might be an immigrant.
Well, I voted one way, but now that Donald Trump is singing one of my favorite songs, I think I'm going to go the other way.
yeah.
The point is, and I wrote that down on the way here.
Sweet Caroline.
The point is that I want to start doing the live streams again because I'm having a lot of people going, "Hey, are you playing anywhere? I'd love to come see you." And so I think the timing's right to kind of hit that.
Oh my God, you're Jay Lenoing your song. You gave the show to
Yeah.
Conan.
Yeah.
But you want it back
I
now.
want it back now. Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah,
We all saw it coming.
I do like it. Like America's going to hell. I'm moving to Arkansas.
Real America.
If you're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, you gotta go to the belly of the beast, man.
Can't beat them, flog them.
Yeah. You gotta get in there, man. Start mixing it up.
So
I think that would be fun for you, man.
Yeah, I think so. So
That'd be good.
that's what I want to do right now because my house is geared for that. It's mostly living room. It's a vaulted ceiling. So it makes it good to set up a place to play there. So anyway, that's what I'm shooting for. So it's probably going to be about a year or year and a half before I do the Arkansas thing. So.
Maybe we buy Jeff Howell's house and we turn it into a Jeff Howell themed Airbnb.
Yes. Hold on a second. Red Dog Pub. The vacation stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on. The title's a little
Keep
clunky.
working it. Yeah.
Red Dog Pubbing In.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Pubbing in.
I
love this.
only things on TV is old westerns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Boxing.
Loud. Very loud.
Or as an ex-girlfriend called it, Essie Movie Theater.
Yeah, and we can have piles of things that you have to walk through.
Yeah.
Then you used to describe that as...
Tom, I used to
I've
keep-
never been... Wait, I went to your house one time.
Yeah.
One time.
I
Only
lived
one.
in apartments all my life because bum musician. It's just easier. And but I never would take anything out of the boxes because I knew I was going to move within a year or two. So for him, for the first 4 or 5 years of his life, it was the labyrinth. He would watch TV and then he'd walk in between about 7 or 8 boxes to go to the bathroom.
I slept in the box.
Yeah. And then come back, pick a toy out, go sit on the couch, But I did that. Then I had to get a house. Yeah.
And so like how much other stuff do you have to clean out?
Ooh.
And then are you throw it away guy? Are you a Facebook Marketplace? I'm
I'm
got a lot
not
of-
good at that. I want to do that, but I'm terrible at it. But my sister, in her retirement years, she's become an estate planner, estate sale planner.
Yeah.
So that's what she does. So now that I'm done with the videotapes and thing, now I got to go through the house and find what might be worth something, take pictures of it, send it to her. She's going to organize an estate sale for me,
Okay.
which sounds like I
we do a
died.
communal bonfire. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
We have 2 Garfield plug-in phones here.
A Native American head. Yeah, wooden head.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so we have Casey here, and I made the joke for years that the funny thing about people that keep too much of their old stuff,
Yeah, I do
you
that.
just call hoarders.
I
or-
do it. I do it with gear. All the boxes that are in there
Me
that's
too.
chunking up our studio are
Yeah.
just broken cables that
Yeah.
I feel the need to hold on to because I'm...
Is that they'll hold on to this stuff, which is it's a burden.
Yeah.
They'll hold like for
Yeah.
40
It is.
years of their entire life, right?
Yeah.
All for one day, it'll pass on to their
Can't take it
kids.
to Ireland.
And then their kids will just throw it all away.
Yeah.
So it's like you're holding it, and it's all this effort to hold
I
it.
did the worst. I did, like, when my mom and dad died, and I can talk about it now. It's not, like, morbid, but, like, when I did it, I was kind of so, like, angry at the situation.
Right.
And we called in an estate person, like
Did
you're saying.
you? Yeah.
And I just go, like, just sell it all. Like, I was I was just like, get rid of everything.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah.
And then there is a part of me that does wish I'd spent a little more time on it.
Digging
I
through.
kind of was a little reactive on
Sure,
it.
yeah.
But it was the better choice for me.
At that time.
Yeah, better choice for me.
But I've always been just hang on to it because of that little feeling of nostalgia. You might want it. Some reason you might want it. Like, I was going through stuff in the closet, and there's this thing that my dad had in his office for years.
Yeah.
And it was a little statue, not a statue, but a little thing that, 3D thing. And it was a cartoon guy sitting under a tree, and there's a bird up on the tree with a mean look on his face and his ass feathers way up in the air, looking like he's getting ready to evacuate.
Art.
And the caption and the caption was, and the caption, the guy was looking up, and the caption said, "Go ahead, everybody else does."
Old man joke art.
I do like that. I like that.
3D old man joke.
Yeah, I like that. The only thing of my father's
Yeah.
that I saved was a pair of holy jockey shorts that on the front where his ding dang would have been, it says, it's got two pigs pumping. It says making bacon. Only thing, he gave it to me in his deathbed. He tucked it in my hand. He's like, I like your dad.
Wear these every day.
No, he took them. He slid them off his own. My dad last thing he did is he slid off his underwear as he was dying. And he tucked
What
it
a
in my
beautiful gesture.
Yeah, he tucked it into my mouth. I'm like,
Nice.
ew.
Now that I think about it, I
you,
did
my son.
keep some of my Pop-Pop's old man joke art that he had because that was the only thing.
Yeah.
Like all the nostalgic stuff, I was like, no, I'm going to keep this Hooters hat and give it to my business partner.
And I love it. I still have it. I have that Hooters hat. Like, I didn't even keep stuff for my own dead parents, but I have that Hooters hat. Because it's the stuff that really matters. I have a framed photo that to go along with exactly what you're saying for my grandma's house. It's a little boy screaming at a little girl, and the little girl's like, and the little boy's screaming at the little girl. He's like, you can't touch mine. You already broke yours off.
Man.
That is some good Southern bathroom art,
awesome.
man.
Well, again, Casey Howell is going to be performing in Celebration this Friday at the Wilson in Orlando.
Come see me.
Cherry Pocket, Steak and Seafood, and Lake Wales on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
And go see Casey Howell. And it's
support the man. I was
You
gonna
know
say
it.
support
We'll
the
be
boy.
rocking out.
Looking at all these photos of you as a little kid that I remember
know,
in like a
man.
taekwondo gi.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But I do think it's cool to look at old memories because a lot of times they get lost in your brain. You'll never remember them unless something sparks your memory again. And like they are kept alive literally by the pictures.
Yeah.
Because you'd forget them,
Some people have such a lonely experience that no one has ever a spark for them. And they just sit and die. Think about that.
I know.
But in the end, we're all it disappears
it
anyway.
doesn't matter.
All
It
these
doesn't matter.
memories just disappear.
It will all fade away eventually.
The wind blows. What's that? That's my dust.
That's our existential dread for the day.
All right.
Casey, Jeff,
Good
thanks so
ending.
much
Good
for coming by.
ending. Nice
Really
job,
appreciate
guys.
it.
All right,
guys.
we will be right back with
Enjoyed
more
it.
corporate time. Awesome. Great job, y'all.
Sorry,
Cheers, guys. That was awesome.
Sorry, cut it a little short, but we had to.
No,
I'm
no
gonna
worries
say
at
this
all.
super
That was great.
fast. Where's that go, T?
That is we're gonna play that Thursday one.
So there was a picture of you and Crystal either by a river or water park recently.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my glasses on, and I was looking at it, and you've lost so much weight, and I went, who's that hot chick with Crystal?
Thanks a lot for. I do look a little feminine. I have my entire life. That's one. Thursday one. Yeah.
Sorry. I start to get.
I know. I can't even grow a beard. I'll never. Always look like old.
Talk to her. Talk to her.
I love you, buddy.
I
Good to
love
see you,
too,
Casey.
man.
Be good,
Hey,
man. Hey, keep sending that stuff. Yeah. I love it, and I share it, and I just say, hey, this is from Jeff Howell. I share it all, and I go, hey, this is from Jeff. Go to his page.
Did you see Southern Girl?
I did.
Oh, good.
On Fox 35. Yeah, that was cool.
The girl came up to talk to us, And she goes, that was wonderful. When I did my standard, I play lead guitar, thing like that. She went, thanks. Love you, buddy.
Lead guitar monsters.
Take care.
See you, man.
Pleasure.
See ya.
See you around.
Thank you so much.
See ya. All right, make sure that's working. Got that back on. Let me get the zoom here.
Would it be possible to pick a certain day of the month and just do that every month? Is that okay? I'll just send you some suggestions.
We would love that, Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd make it easier, and then we'll just get you in rotation.
And if somebody comes in where you need to bump us,
No.
But I'll send you some dates that look like
Yeah.
And if we do the first Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah, and then we'll just pick a couple.
You got it.
You got it, man.
That's easier for us too because it just
Tom's been really organized this year. I hate saying that because normally he's not, but Tom's been so organized this year, it's insane.
Really?
Oh, my God.
Isn't that
Well,
great?
yeah, that's
The man that can't change has changed.
One day, God, and I know you guys are super busy, but one weekend day.
Oh, I got Yakov.
okay.
I'm sorry, we got our guy.
Oh, take
Yeah,
care.
sorry,
No,
Jeff.
I love you guys.
Yeah, love you too, buddy. All right, here we go. Boop. Let's see if this pops on here. Got that volume up. Hello. I can see him in the background or somebody in the background. There he is. Good morning.
Hey,
Hi,
how you doing?
How are you?
doing great. How are you?
Good.
Great,
Hey,
great.
thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate the time.
Sure. I'm
Perfect.
looking forward to our conversation.
Yes,
Yep.
Is
sir.
there anything I can do to make this better, like put the light somewhere else? Or-
I don't know. He looks.
No, I
pretty
think
good.
you're good.
I
You're
think
great.
I think you look pretty good, man. I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I think we're golden as long as you can hear us and see us. Okay, I think we'll start.
I can hear you and see you. Yes.
Perfect.
All righty, here we go, Mr. Van. You want to begin?
Sure.
Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. We would ask you to join us. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live.
So he's going to be at the Funny Bone on Thursday, February 20th. And he's also going to be at Porky's Comedy Club at St. Cloud, February 21st and 22nd. He's going to be down in Sarasota, February 28th and March 1st at McCurdy's. And legendary comedian Yakov Smirnoff is on Zoom right now. How you doing, Yakov?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh man, thank you so much for the time. We really do appreciate it, and appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to chat with us a little bit. We have a little bit of history. Like, your name has been thrown around in our studio probably more than most legendary comedians. And I'll defer
tell
to
me.
I'll defer to Tom because we do have a bit of a mystery we'd like to try and solve.
Yeah.
Okay.
And real quick, before we solve the mystery, and this kind of ties into it, you have one of the greatest American dream stories, I feel like, of any entertainer. And the fact that you came here in 1977, you didn't speak English. And
right.
less than 10 years later, you're one of the most famous comedians in America. And is it correct that you've performed for 4 different presidents?
That's correct. Yes. I've been very fortunate, but I thought that was just something every comedian does. So, yeah, I was honestly, when I look back at my life, I'm like going, was it me or was it Memorex? Because it just all started happening. I think I was kind of like fresh meat in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I had all these movie roles and television, and then invitation to the White House. And I thought it was all normal. And I thought every immigrant gets that kind of opportunity.
That's crazy. Like, you're like, this must be what being a comedian's like.
Yeah, and I can remember as a
That's
young.
why I was saying, what a country, right?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't believe this was happening, but it was happening. And I'm grateful.
It seemed like too we were seeing you, at least as a young man. My father and I, big fans of comedy, big fans of Robin Williams and watching the greats at that time. And you were rolling right up there with them. I can remember seeing you in commercials or guest starring in movies and stuff like that. I mean, did it seem for you literally like a 0 to 100 type of process? Becoming.
It did. It still is. But I've been trying to figure out what happened, because as fast as it became that I became that kind of overnight success, which wasn't overnight, but that's the way people think.
Right.
But it ended even faster. It ended when the Soviet Union collapsed, and all of a sudden, I was no longer needed. It's like it was like Soviet Union was a pain in the butt to America, and I was preparation H.
Right, yeah.
Right, but when the itching and the burning and the swelling goes down, you don't need that anymore. So I basically was put in the medicine cabinet of history, and it was like so sudden. Soviet Union collapsed 91. David Letterman had a top 10 list of things that will now change. I made number 1 on the list. Yakov Smirnov will be out of work. And I thought it was funny, but 6 months later, I wasn't laughing.
Wow.
I never thought, I would never thought about a comedian, especially not losing, but maybe having to reinvent or take a turn in his act or his entertainment because of geopolitics. Yeah, I've never thought about that. That is. So how did you formulate a plan? Because obviously one of the things that I'm most impressed with, and Tom and I talked about this, is the fact that you own a venue. I mean, like, that's insane. Like, what?
I own a big 2,000-seat theater in Branson, Missouri for the last 32 years.
Wow.
So the logic was very much survival. Sure. My wife and I at that time bought a house in Pacific Palisades that now will burn down. But
wow.
And I was doing so well. I was making the house was $2.5 million. My mortgage was like $8,000 a month. At those days, it was 91 about. And then all of a sudden, my income went to nothing, and no way to pay for mortgage. So it was dramatic. But I started looking for a place where they did not know that the Soviet Union collapsed, and I ended up in Branson, Missouri. They still don't know.
They're still calling it the USSR.
That's such a great.
I'm not about to tell them, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a blessing in disguise, because it gave me an opportunity to keep entertaining. I entertained over 6 million people over those years. So it's been a blessing that happened at that time. It didn't look like it.
That is crazy. That
it's a beautiful theater, by the way, and congratulations. Didn't you just celebrate like your
31st consecutive season at your theater?
Yeah, congratulations. Yep. That is such a huge thing to do. And like, we are independent media. We know what it's like to have to leave and do, like, you're doing your own thing. You're owning it. It's your theater. I don't know. There's something insanely cool about that. And you could, like, people can rent your theater, right? And do other events and things there.
Correct.
That's wild.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's wild. That's really.
Yeah, this happened because survival. It had to be a survival mode. That to happen.
Sure.
And but here's an interesting thing that you might appreciate, that because I went and I got my master's degree in psychology at University of Pennsylvania, and then I got my doctorate degree at Pepperdine University. the reason I was going after those, because I was trying to figure out because I believe that when there's chemistry and when there is harmony, laughter is kind of a result of that. It happens after the needs are met. So when I look at the big picture, and I'm realizing that I was meeting America's need for a release of that pain in the butt, or
Sure.
release of that tension.
Tension, yeah.
And because I was meeting that need, that's why my career skyrocketed. And then when the need was over and they didn't need that anymore, it went away. So I believe that when I came to Branson, I happened to meet the needs of that community because they were looking for wholesome, they weren't looking, I just showed up, but a patriotic, what a country, somebody who likes America, somebody, so you could bring the kids to my show, and the grandparents are not going to be embarrassed, and things like that. I met their need. That's what helped me to survive this, not only survive and thrive through this 32 years.
Well, Yakov, you bring up a point about you've always worked clean, and in doing some research, I saw that you are at one time roommates with Andrew Dice Clay and Biff from Back to the Future.
Yeah, and we've interviewed
Thomas Wilson.
Yeah, we've talked to both of those guys.
And so I'm like, and Andrew Dice Clay was the epitome of a dirty comic, especially at the time in the 80s.
He's still doing it on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
Andrew was teaching me English, so be nice to him.
No, we love him. Yeah.
But so you're working clean. He's Andrew Dice Clay. Like your philosophy of comedy couldn't be different. And so how was that relationship?
Well, actually, we're still friends. I was supposed to be a part of his documentary. Actually, today I was supposed to be coming back to Orlando, but there was a snowstorm, so we postponed it. So I continued to have a relationship with him, because when I met Andrew, he was totally clean. Huh. I know it's hard to believe, but he was doing impressions of John Travolta, Sylvester Stallone. He would close his act singing like Elvis, an impression. I mean, it was very, very clean. What happened is that when HBO, at that time, to be a success, before the cable came in, you had to be clean. And he was. But then when HBO, that Young Comedian special happened, and they liked his nursery rhymes, and all of that just went through the roof. And then after that, he never turned back.
Super interesting.
He saw something that worked. Yeah. There's no need there. Yeah.
And was there any pressure for you to ever work dirty at all? Did the other comedians are like, hey, Yakov, you got to work.
You need to be a spicier Russian,
No. I always admired like Seinfeld and Leno. I saw, and it was kind of similar to what I grew up with, because I was doing stand-up in the Soviet Union, and obviously you could not, the amount of topics that you could talk about was very limited, and therefore dirty was not even an option.
Right. Yeah.
And so I kind of been trained to stay, not to go against the party line. Otherwise, you can get hurt. You can disappear.
Right.
So those were the parameters that I grew up with. So it wasn't difficult for me to say no to drug use, to any of that seemed very foreign to me.
That's crazy that you're doing comedy in a country that you could be imprisoned, and also just you never been seen again for something you say on stage.
Did you carry any of that maybe nervousness over when you first started? You're learning English.
Yeah.
You start doing comedy here in the States. How do you learn where the line is in a new country?
You create your own line in
Sure.
a way. And I remember watching. My English was still pretty bad, but I could understand some. And I remember being in New York at it was Playboy Club, and there was comedy on a regular basis there. And the comedian, I don't know who it was, said that Jimmy Carter just had his hemorrhoid operation, and he's going to be perfect a-hole again. And I ducked under the table.
Right. You're like,
You're like, oh my God, you called.
Somebody's going to shoot him.
Yeah.
That's how ingrained it was in my mind.
Sure.
You're like, how could you say this about the president? Like, you're gonna like someone.
I mean, a lot. Like,
crazy.
we really do take for granted the fact that is a freedom afforded to us. Like the ability to.
We love making fun of the president.
Like, we make fun of our presidents. We worship any religion we want, and that is something that we don't think about. That there are countries that is not a thing.
That's a blessing. Yes,
it is, absolutely.
So, Yakov, we have to ask you this because one of my favorite stories ever told on the show was by fellow comedian, the amazing Jonathan.
Yeah. All the way back in 2014.
And when he came on the show, he told us a story, and you want to? We got a little bit of the audio from it.
It's a small clip, Yakov. If you just listen to this,
I made
it
for it. I'd be curious. Yeah.
This is 40 seconds. Here we go.
Yeah, President Reagan and President Mitterrand of France.
Oh my God.
They wanted to see a show. It was. I get a call at my hotel room out of the blue. It's from the Secret Service saying, "Would you like to do a show for the President of the United States?" So I flew at my own expense to New York. Was standing at 58th and Broadway at 6 a.m. Seinfeld's there. Yakov Smirnoff's there. They both got the same call apparently.
No,
that's insane.
They're on the corner, just standing there.
They're standing at the corner. A black van comes around the corner. It opens its doors, and the guy says, "Get in."
What year was this?
This was 1986.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was the bicentennial of the Statue of Liberty ceremony. That's what it was.
Oh yeah. Yes, that makes sense because yes, I remember that very clearly. I was sworn in at the Statue of Liberty ceremonies as an American citizen. So I was part of all of these activities and festivities that was happening there. So yes, he is correct. Right. And we had Amazing Jonathan and I and Jerry had the same agents at that time. Whoa. So that's how we probably ended up in the same spot.
Well, the Amazing Jonathan went on to say it was his first time trying ecstasy, and he was freaking out the entire time.
No, but then he also goes on to say that his stage manager tested out his prop gun that had blanks in it, and he fired the gun, and he got tackled. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Amazing Jonathan was crazy.
It sounds like Amazing Jonathan story. Yeah. I didn't see that part, but I had an interesting situation because I was sworn in on that day at the Statue of Liberty. It was a big moment of my life, one of the biggest. And I remember Baryshnikov. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He was supposed to be sworn in at the same day or the same ceremony. So he was like a really big, everybody, all the media was on him. They wanted to get an interview from him, all of that. And we were all gathered there, and Baryshnikov came and told the media, or FBI actually was around him because he was like the center of attention of the whole event. So they were around him, and they came to Battery Park where we were waiting, and he said, they said that he's not going to give any interviews. And up till then, the media, they've seen me, they saw me that I was there, but they totally ignored me. Totally. Right. And when the FBI said that he's not going to do this, all of the media, I'm talking about, Time Magazine, Newsweek, LA Times, USA Today, all of the biggers, they turn around on the dot like piranhas. And all of a sudden, I was the bait. I was the one that they're going to write a story about. And it never happened in my life before. It will probably never happen again. And I had no PR person there or anybody. So I'm telling the people from Newsweek, or I say, stand in this corner. I'll come back to you in 20 minutes. And who are you with? Oh, you're with Time Magazine. Well, let me talk to you now. But People Magazine, would you stand there and wait for me? It was insane. And that's when I think that was the peak of my career, because I made a cover of Parade magazine that week. And so
now Parade wasn't Parade the magazine that came with the paper, so it went to every house. Like I remember as a boy, you'd get the paper and then the magazine that came with it, the color fold out, the money shot was Yakov on Parade.
That's correct.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
I don't think there was something bigger when I was born in 76. I'm 48. Like I can remember, you exploded in a point where you were just everywhere. It was just you in a red sweater everywhere.
It must have been the equivalent to $500 million worth of media exposure or something insane, like bigger than the. I mean, with that much media at that time, where there was no internet and pre-cable TV, this is what Americans consumed.
I'm very grateful to a Russian ballet dancer.
He's one of the greats.
That one decision of him not talking to the media blew your career.
He had a bad day. He was like, I'm over this. I do not want to talk.
So, Yakov, speaking of President Reagan, you also got to write a little bit of President Reagan's speech, which is also insane.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to believe that was all happening. And it was, the owner of the Comedy Store, Mitzi Shore, she kept saying to me, you and Reagan changed the world. And I'm like going, come on, Mitzi, I'm just a comedian. I just tell jokes. And he's, no, this was secret weapons that Reagan used to make it connect to Gorbachev, and that's how everything happened. So I couldn't. Again, I'm not dumb, but I feel like it was so way over my head when they asked me to write some jokes for the speech, and then they said, why don't you read the speech and see if you like it? And I'm like, who am I? But then I would give them my opinion, say the tone of the speech is probably not ideal. And they go, why don't you rewrite it? I go, oh, no, now, if that doesn't work, I don't have any countries to go to.
That's crazy.
Yeah, see you in space, Yakov.
That's crazy.
I don't know where you go after that. Also, do you remember what the tone was? Was it something just... like, were you trying to soften it in any way?
Yeah. I think it's similar to what's going on right now with today's situation with Trump and European Union and Ukraine and Putin and all of those things. Their kind of history is repeating itself. So the tone of collaboration is what I believed in, and that's what was lacking, because people who were writing the speeches were more hardcore, and pushing for, like, we're the pinnacle of the world. We will dictate what's going to happen.
Right.
And my take on it was, I don't think so. I think it will need to be mutually beneficial. So that's the only difference.
That
But
makes sense. Yeah.
it's like Tony Robbins talks about this, like when you're learning to play golf and you make 1 degree adjustment to where the ball is going to go, it might go to the green or it might go in the woods. So I guess my 1 degree was received by president's writers, and they used that. So, and I think that helped.
That's amazing.
So Yakov, I'm curious about, you mentioned getting your master's in psychology and then your doctorate. And was that anyway fueled by the curiosity, like especially psychology, of what happened in your own career? Like we just talked about the explosion in popularity and going from, I know it wasn't overnight, but, in the amount of time from coming to America, not knowing English, and to, you're writing Ronald Reagan's speeches now, and then the insane popularity and everybody in the country knows who you are, and then the fall of the Soviet Union, and then all of a sudden everything gets taken away as far as like career-wise, and you open up your theater and you've had a great career and it's amazing, but like you looking back, you're like it's a crazy rise and immediate, not even a fall, but like, the change in your career and like
emergency landing, I call it.
Yeah. And is part of your fascination with psychology, like part of trying to understand like why that happened to you?
Right.
Yeah, in some ways, I wasn't looking at that as much as after all of this started happening, a little bit late, I went through a divorce. And that's probably was the catalyst to going to get my education, because I couldn't understand it. But however, I noticed that there was a lot of laughter in the beginning of the relationship, and then by the end of the relationship, there was people who were laughing were the attorneys, and so I kind of went, where did the laughter go? So it was more started there to understand. It was laughter between my wife and I, and then it's going away. And then I started asking my audience, how many of you remember laughter in the beginning of the relationship? And everybody applauds. And then I say, any of you would go on a second date if you didn't have laughter on the first date? And nobody applauds. So that gave me an idea that there is a correlation between laughter and happiness, and laughter being that gauge or that map or roadmap of happiness. And then as I was doing that research on the personal relationships, I realized that it actually reaches everyone. I mean, all relationships, with your children, with your parents, with your coworkers. If you are not meeting each other's needs, laughter is not going to happen.
So,
yeah, that's true.
So
conditions are not optimum for that, for sure.
And you even taught a class about like laughter and business, correct?
Yes, business of laughter. Yes. I was teaching students how that's all relatable to. And if you want to have a good relationship, you focus not on laughter, you focus on meeting the needs. And once you meet the need, humor is going to be there. It's going to trigger the laughter.
That's super interesting. Yeah.
And
are you still writing your book, Unconscious Attraction?
I have done it I did a proposal, but unfortunately, well, again, I look at everything as a blessing.
Yeah.
It wasn't getting any traction with the publishers. That tells me it's like a clue that maybe that's not where I need to go.
Gotcha.
And so it happened about a year ago, February. So, it just reminded me. Today's what, the 18th?
Yeah.
I think it was February 10 last year that I had there's a psychologist that I admire, and I like the way he was deep dive, trying to understand what is your passion, where is your passion. And we did a session together, and my goal was to continue to go into psychology more deeper, and do the books and do courses and all of that. And then we kind of dove in, or he helped me see that I was split between stand-up and psychology. And for years, I tried to join them together. And it was difficult. I did a Broadway show, 2003, As Long as People Shall Laugh. And I thought that will be, and then I did a PBS special, Happily Ever Laughter in 2016. So I've been on that path for a long time. But that session helped me understand that my strength is in stand-up. And so what's happening, the reason I'm here in Orlando and then at Porky's in St. Cloud, it makes me smile, because I'm going from the White House to Porky's.
I'm glad you said it.
There's a contrast there, right?
Yeah, I love it. And it's also very American, though. I mean, like, barbecue is very American. It's my favorite food. Porky's actually does have good barbecue, so I'm glad about that.
That's why I'm telling everybody. I'm like, you have a chance
to meet a legend. Yeah,
we have a lot of listeners around St. Cloud, Kissimmee area, Orlando. Like, go see Yakov.
And a lot of people in the chat room. I'll read some of it. This is so great. Yakov seems so nice. This is a very smart man. We need him to save us again. Like, these are people, like, this is a killer interview. Yeah, you can actually go and eat barbecue, America's food, with Yakov Smirnoff at Porky's.
Yes. So the reason I'm doing these clubs, and Florida is the first place that I'm kind of coming out of that Branson bubble, is to test this that new approach to my stand-up, and hopefully my guiding light at this point is Nate Bargatze.
Oh yeah.
Who I think has his pulse on what America needs. Again, I'm going back to need. And what America needs, I think they got enough of the comedy that was vulgar, and they can't watch Netflix without with their kids or grandkids. So they are flocking to Nate and people like that, Leanne Morgan and Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, they really want that in their lives now.
Well, you know what's interesting is we had Nate on the show when he was just doing the comedy club circuit.
2017.
And it was funny because we literally, it kind of like an analogy to you, you, Yakov, and the fact that he, like, all of a sudden he came to Orlando once.
We had him in here.
And then the next time he came, he's doing arena. He's going from comedy club. He's going Porky's to arena.
He did, yeah.
I've never seen
Porky's to like the Kia Center here in town, and he did like multiple dates.
And I've never seen someone skyrocket that fast. And you're right. It must have been just like what you were talking about in your own careers. Like America needed this particular style of comedy at the right place, the right time. Now, hopefully, like something doesn't happen where he all of a sudden the late night show is like Nate Bargatze's never gonna do a show again.
Yeah. He makes the number one of the top 5.
But it's interesting you bring him up.
Yeah, no, I think he is safe because he did not. His motto: no politics, no profanity. So he is. When I actually watched last night a couple of his specials on Netflix, and it's just fascinating to watch him, how great he is in what he does, but he's also very strategic, that there is no reason that he would not be popular.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Yakov, I have 2 more questions real quick. One is your podcast, Comedy Couch.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's going okay. As you know, this kind of format needs to grow and see. I like doing it. That's the biggest part of it, that I can sit down with young comedians or, comedians who've been touring for a while, and they have a lot of respect for me, which feels good to be able to. And so what I realized, that I've been kind of under witness protection program for 32 years. And when you go to Branson, America doesn't know where you are. You're done. So it's a good place to hide from the Russians that are still looking for me. And I don't want to mention them by name, but the initials are KGB. So what I'm saying is that I've been kind of protected by that environment. And now coming out into the real world, America, and all the changes that are happening in our political system, all of that requires just being out there and figuring out what is it that America need right now.
Well, Yakov, because of your education and your life experience, you make a great interviewer, because I listened to the podcast, and you're really good at interviewing because of your education and psychology background.
Thank you. Again, I'm looking for a sign, kind of like what I just did, my last podcast with Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
Who is like, one of the biggest podcasters in the world. And I was so blessed that he was like, yeah, sure, let's sit down. If you do my podcast, I'll do your podcast. So if you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Yeah, and I was very pleased to be able to hold my part of the bargain, and he enjoyed the interview. So to me, it's just a slow building process. But I think, again, Nate has a successful podcast. So I'm using his roadmap in a way of what is he doing that got him from Porky's to Arena.
Yeah.
Smart.
I'd definitely listen to one day if you get Nate on your podcast.
Oh, I'd love that.
I would listen to that as fast as possible.
Or if the next time you're in Orlando, if you ever just want to pop in here again and talk some more, man, we'd love to chat with you. This has been like super fun.
I got one more question, and it's my dumbest question for you.
Yeah, we saved the best for the last.
This is the dumbest.
Best for last.
But I tried to look it up online and see, and I couldn't find anything, and I was like, and it was bothering me because I was like, there had to be some story about an interaction with this company. So your stage name, Smirnoff, it's famously, you got it from the vodka. From when you got to America, you're like, what America's like. It's a famous story that people know.
That is officially a ChatGPT fact.
and that's correct, right?
Yes, that's correct. I was working as a bartender or bar boy at first, but then bartender, and people were not very familiar with the Russian things, except Smirnov would always make them smile. So that's how I got this last name, and it's been very very good for me over the years, because there's just something funny about Yakov, like yakking, and then Smirnov, so it gets people to smile. It kind of like Whoopi Goldberg, there is just that part of that cognizant difference. Like those words should not be together.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it stick. And so, yeah, I've been very blessed that I picked that name.
So my question is, did the actual Smirnoff Vodka company ever reach out to you to do endorsements or work with you in some way?
They have, and I did a show for them. That was probably 1991, maybe. No, yeah, 1991. And at that time, my kids were born, and I didn't feel like I wanted to be associated with alcohol.
Gotcha.
And so I turned it down. Now my kids are grown and drink Smirnoff. Maybe it's time to rekindle this.
It's time. It's right. It's never been. You know what? Seriously.
It
is
they
time.
should.
Oh, they absolutely should.
A social media campaign of you or Yakov Smirnoff drinking Smirnoff.
We might start like beating that drum for you.
That should be a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
Right?
Smirnoff Ice might be, right?
I love Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah.
That is a delicious lemonade flavored malt liquor beverage.
But let me tell you what I think, that it's very sweet of you to say that. But until you're hot again or warmed over or whatever it is, big companies are not interested. Small companies are rarely interested. So to me, it's my job to start that fire, and that's what's happening tomorrow at Orlando Funny Bone, and then next day, Friday and Saturday, Porky's, and then in Sarasota. That's like kindlings for the fire.
Love it.
Well,
and if that will start the fire, then Smirnov will be calling me.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
and
that's the plan.
Yakov, we had a guest earlier. I'm like, Yakov Smirnoff is coming, zooming in with us. They're like, oh, really?
Out, yeah.
Everybody that is over 40 knows your name.
Correct.
I think the majority of America, so your name recognition is so high because of the 90s and the late 80s and 90s. So I just feel like, good luck with everything in your new tour, and congratulations.
I'll tell you, my social media person said that most of the time in today's world, with the podcasts and all of those social media platforms, most of the time the children tell their parents about that particular performer or that particular podcast, similar to like Barron Trump is introducing Donald Trump to Joe Rogan and Theo Wan and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. My social media guy says, this will be opposite for you. He said, the parents are going to be introducing you to the young people.
Yeah, there you go. Let's work it backwards.
And I go, whichever way, I'm good.
Yeah. Just got to get the kindling, get the fire going.
That's a Russian reverse.
That is the Russian reverse.
Invented.
Yeah. I love it.
Right.
Yakov, thanks so much for taking the time with us. I really appreciate it. And again, get your tickets at Funny Bone Thursday, February 20th, and Porky's Comedy Club the 21st and 22nd. It's been a pleasure, Yakov, and we hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
See you guys. Why did I say see you guys?
It was all good until you said see you guys.
Until I got to the see you guys. Who else is there, man? Dan, who else is there? You dumb mother.
Well, you know what? Usually you end, and I think it threw you off that I ended.
It did throw me off. No, you know what threw me off is his noise that they always like. The noise of that. I don't like a noise at the end.
Well, I think
I demand that anybody, when we are ending a Zoom call, I demand that everyone stay quiet.
I guarantee you, now that he's touring again, he's gonna get tired of doing interviews.
Yeah.
But we're lucky we got him. He came to Florida first.
We got him.
Yeah. But like,
very nice man.
In 2 months, when he's doing like Arizona, he's like, I'm not doing any more media. But
he'll do a little bit of this. I'm tired.
Yeah.
He looks great, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude.
You know who I thought?
He's 74.
You know who I thought he was at first? I thought he was the husband of that Playboy lingerie model that you creeped out. He had the same hat on and the same beard, and I'm like, holy crap! Where's that lady?
Yeah. He needs to write a life biography.
Hey man, what you need to do is write yourself a life biography. You need to write you a life. You ever thought about writing yourself a life biography? Man, it's real popular with them celebrities. You write yourself one of them life biographies. You get that. I was cursed. You get that S published, you'll be rich, man. You'll be able to buy you an airboat.
You MFer.
Life biography.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
That was funny.
Is this lunch?
Yep, lunch, and then
what do we have after lunch?
We're back with Mike Busey and Mo DeWitt.
Yeah, at the same time.
No,
at the same time.
Busey first.
Okay, bye guys.